very good example of why the domestic auto industry has seen a last couple years of strong growth. One of the categories you can look at for evidence is the small car category. And specifically we talk about GM, which wasn't a player at all 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago even. But now they're coming along very nicely, and we've already driven the new Chevy Spark, which is at the very bottom of the line in size. Actually pretty impressed with that. You'll have to check out the review if you're interested. This is one step up. This is the Chevy Sonic. This is a 2014 model. This is the 5-door hatch, also available in the traditional 4-door sedan, but the 5-door hatch a little sportier. And no, it's not classically pretty, but it's certainly passable. It's got some distinct flavor to it. I think the youth market is probably looking for something like this, so it is what it is. But really where I was pleasantly surprised now that I've been driving this for a week is the way that it drives. Actually, it does not punish you in any regard. This is a car that starts at about $16,000. This is the mid-level LT model. And nothing overly fancy about it. It's probably the volume seller. 16-inch wheels. This actually does have a couple of upgrades. Let's take a look though at the interior. One of the areas where they've come a long way is in the interior. The materials throughout are pretty good. There's some design. There's very, very strong ergonomics, simple climate controls, just the way we like them. All the necessary switches are easy to find and within reach. A couple of nifty features like the dual glove box, gives you a little extra room. You got your plug-ins for your technology. All that stuff is standard on this car. Comfortable seats as well. The front seats have this nice kind of upscale nylon finish to them. They're comfortably bolstered. There's good room. The seating position and the steering wheel, pedal controls, gear shift, all that stuff is really nicely laid out. Where in small cars of the past you'd had to compromise in that area. No longer is that the case in GM's lineup here. The second row is actually fairly hospitable. It's not bolt upright chairs or anything like that we've had to suffer through in the past. Pretty comfortable back there. As we said, this is the hatch version, so you've got the ability to fold down the second row seats and make a pretty good cargo area there. Also a little bit of hideaway storage available under the back floor if you want to keep some valuables out of sight. That's easy to get to as well. Actually, we think it's a pretty good looking vehicle from the rear. Some stylistic taillights there. This model in particular, GM outfitted with some of what the customers are ordering from the dealer. These are some dealer add-on items, things like the black trim package with this little spoiler, the mirror caps also up front by the grille. All those are installed at the dealer for a nominal fee. The 16-inch black finished wheels are also a dealer add-on, as well as this right from the dealer Borla Catback Exhaust system. You don't hear a lot of it inside, which is fine. I like it. I think it gives you a little pop to the exterior, and I think the kids are going to like that. But really, as I mentioned, the pleasant surprise with this car, especially for the price, about $21,000 as it sits, even with all the extra GM add-on dealer stuff, which is not necessary. So really, you could comfortably get this car at about $19,000. It's just the way that it drives and behaves like a really well-engineered, complete package. This has the upgraded turbocharged 1.4-liter engine, puts out 138 horsepower, but the more significant part there is the turbo aids in the torque delivery. So it has 148 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty good for a little car like this, and it comes on really nicely at about 2,500 RPM. So rolling through the mid-range on this car is pleasant. It makes getting around in traffic very easy. This has the 6-speed manual that comes with that turbocharged engine, and it's definitely a must-have option. You really want to spring, I think it's about $700 for the turbocharged upgrade, and it really makes it a much more livable car. And the EPA ratings are still great. It's 29 miles per gallon in the city, 40 miles per gallon on the highway, and in our week driving, we're getting about 35, 36 almost, in a nice mix of driving. So really like that. The clutch take-up is just buttery smooth, great feel to the shifter, nice defined gates, smooth action. The electric steering is actually really nicely weighted and natural feeling in this car. The brakes are one area they could probably improve. The feel is great. For everyday driving, we don't have any complaints, but we are fans of disc brakes, and this model does come with drum rear brakes. You have to step up, I believe, to the LTZ to get disc brakes all around. So maybe one area that Chevy could improve there. Other than that, for the most part, we're in pretty good shape. The interior, not everybody's going to like the instrument cluster. It's very basic information. All you get is an analog tachometer, and then you have some basic digital information, including a digital speed readout. So you might have areas for improvement there. But other than that, really, we found very little to dislike of this car. Like I said, about 19 to 20,000, really nicely equipped with that screen. This has a backup camera for that price. Of course, OnStar's included. You can also plug in your iPhone and use the navigation through that and everything, which really beats the competition, I think, on the technology package for this class of car. So you really do need to check out GM's small car lineup, where before it was nothing to write home about. Now with the Spark, Sonic, and the Cruise, all available at your local Chevy dealerships, you need to take a look at what they're offering in the 2014 Chevrolet Sonic.